Yo, YouTube, it's your boy E-Man, back getting their reaction today. Caesar the Champ has graced us with this video, the trial of Thragg, Viltrum's final boss. And to be honest, Thragg has done so much. This is probably gonna be a lot of exhibits, probably not a lot, but like enough exhibits to say he's one of the Black Air Force energy. You know, he's part of the Roundhouse for real. Anyways, before we get into it, subscribe to the channel as always. Also like this video. Also follow my Twitch and TikTok in the description below. Also join the Discord. Anyways, let's get into it.
Why is everyone so nervous about fighting this Thragg guy?
Oh my god.
No way he lives up to the hype.
A few moments later.
Seriously? I swear to God, this nigga Oliver needs to calm. This nigga Oliver needs to calm the fuck down, cause he's always getting involved in some shit. Like you almost died. What makes you think you can handle him? He's like, he's a little to hype.
Is as valuable as a summer ant.
Your like, dude, damn cocky.
You serve zero purpose.
Time to get your jaw removed.
To worship me, kill you.
Oh! Yeah, he ain't talking shit no more. I mean, now he can. His jaw got removed.
Ladies and gentlemen, y'all already know what time it is. Court is now in session because it's time for a trial. And it is for none other than the crispiest Viltrumite in the galaxy. Viltrum's final boss, Grand Regent Thragg. So, y'all already know how this works. We got the evidence and it is ready to be presented. And my God, I gotta say, this is some of the most damning evidence a character has ever had. So,
that nigga's so strong that his hairline literally just was that strong it blocked Mark's punch. That's how strong the nigga was. His hairline was doing the work.
Without further ado, Exhibit A.
Alright,
let's get down to business. Exhibit A, Thragg's rise to power and his multiple atrocities. Now, we actually got a glimpse of Thragg's backstory right here. And just from this backstory alone, you could already tell that Thragg was a crazy ass nigga, because this man is responsible for multiple horrible atrocities. So let's start off with example one. This one planet was trying to start a rebellion because they were fed up with the Viltrumites' rule. So they decided to blow some shit up and retaliate. So the Viltrumite higher ups, or Argos, council, whatever the hell you want to call them, had a meeting to discuss of what they should do about this rebellion. Now, Krieg and Thetis were basically arguing the whole time, because Krieg straight up proposed that they should just decimate the whole planet to show the strength of the Viltrum Empire and strike fear into the species that was trying to rebel. But Thetis,
y'all just stole Frieza's idea. Like, come on, y'all ain't creative. Like, y'all just taking over a planet and now you're gonna blow it up? Oh, that's on Frieza's shit.
On the other hand, proposed that they shouldn't decimate their planet because the Viltrumite rule over this species was cruel and inhumane. And he thought that since this species showed some type of pushback against their oppressors, that it was an act of strength and Viltrum should respect it because their main core value was strength. Now, while they kept yapping, Argal decided to shut both of them up. Then he asked Thragg, "Young nigga Thragg, my crispy apprentice, what do you think we should do about this minor inconvenience?" And Thragg straight up said that these creatures were so weak that their weakness was an offense to the natural order of the universe, and we should educate them on why they're so ass.
Damn.
And after hearing Thragg's
Delta
rant,
ass
Argal
activity.
was like, "Now that is why you are my right-hand man. Tax them niggas 25% of their population." This man Thragg is responsible for this race losing 25% of their population. A quarter of these niggas was wiped off the map because Thragg thought they was weak as hell. Now, let's move into example two. His first day
he not
as
wrong.
Emperor. Now, after Argal got assassinated and took a big-ass shank to the skull from Optimus Prime, they had a massive funeral for this man, and it was broadcasted across the entire planet. So after Thragg was done giving the eulogy, he does what is quite possibly one of the craziest things a leader could
everyone
ever do.
kill each
He said
other.
that there is a sickness in our society, and it needs to be cut out. So he points at this melanated brother behind him and asks him, "You, do I look fresh today?"
I like it, cut G.
I don't believe.
Not gonna lie, you ain't gonna lie to that nigga. I mean, shit, you look at this mark over that, or better just grow it and then get a lineup. That would be a lot better, but damn, this nigga Thragg don't like us for real.
Believe you.
Why'd you just kill him then?
He decapitated this brother for no reason.
That's a hate crime.
He chopped his head clean off to make it.
Actually, it makes sense. He's Frieza. He's Frieza with the like literally Frieza, but none of like the talking shit. He's literally what he is. He's racist. He wants to blow up planets. Literally just wipe out populations. He's really Frieza.
An example out of him. So after he just murdered this dude in front of everyone, this man gets on the mic and says, "As my first command as Grand Regent, I, Thragg, hereby officially announce the first ever Viltrum
Hunger Games.
Culling Games.
I knew it.
Seek out every single
This is literally the Hunger Games.
Population and eradicate them.
That fool a little scared.
Every weak nigga from our population." So after Thragg gave this speech, all hell just broke loose across the entire planet, and the Great Purge began. Viltrumites just started killing each other off one by one, so they could weed out every person they considered weak. And it wasn't just the adult.
Bro, they was splitting each other in half for real. They were breaking each other's backs and not in a good way. They were just like, it wasn't like a mercy kill. They just made them feel so much more pain. And even the kids they just said, nah, there's no age limit. Like R. Kelly, they say age ain't nothing but a number. So kids can kill each other too. matter of fact, let's kill the kids too.
It's doing it too. It was the kids as well. Look at them jumping this little nigga. Bro got jumped by 3 other kids that got stomped out to death. This was just straight up horrific. And I'm gonna keep it a beam. This had to be one of the worst ways to ever find out who was weak or not. Because what this was a battle royale. Anything could happen. You could literally get cheap kills off of niggas for third-partying another 1v1. They could be 10 times better than you. Or you could literally wait until their 1v1 was over and they were at half HP. And just come behind them and sneak their ass.
This kills
like,
be
this
killed.
shit is stupid. And God forbid a nigga ran into a motherfucker like Conquest, because that was just instant death. It didn't matter how strong you were if you ran into that nigga. That is just straight up bad RNG. And at the end of this purge that Thragg started, it led to half of their population getting wiped out.
See, his own population too.
Viltrumites died because of this purge. And those billions of bodies are on Thragg's head, because he literally commanded them to do this.
Yeah.
And now we're at our 3rd major atrocity. And that was his invasion on Telescria. This nigga pulled up in a big ass Star Destroyer and started burning this city to the ground and destroying everything.
Oh my God.
Millions of innocent people were getting boomed and vaporized, while this man was just sitting in his ship and looking down on all this death and destruction. And there is a high probability that this man would have probably just scorched the whole planet if Mark and friends didn't destroy his ship and make him tweak out about losing Argol's skull. But I think that we can all agree after looking at these 3 atrocities that this man Thragg is just a straight up space tyrant, because there is nothing more that this nigga loved to do than conquer civilizations and spread bloodshed wherever he went.
Like, that nigga just bored. Like, that nigga just bored and tired. Like, I don't know. He just tries off of just doing this shit. Like, Loki doing Viltrumites, you'd be like, nah, like Conquest, bro. This nigga literally just doing this shit for shits and giggles. Damn. Want to exhibit.
Exhibit B. All right. Exhibit B. Putting the fraud allegations to rest. Man, oh man. The amount of people that were calling Thragg a fraud before.
Why they call him a fraud?
Was just flat out insane. Like, we're now in a era where if a new character ain't doing some shit like ore farming or putting belt to ass to niggas in the first 5 minutes of their screen time, they're putting them on fraud watch. People were actually calling him a fraud before he even threw his first punch. Now, if you were a part of the crowd that was calling Thragg a fraud before all this happened, all is forgiven. As long as you sign this document and turn it in by the end of the trial.
Wait, I want to see the options. I'll apply for this because I never say he was a fraud. I heard of him, but like, I never say he was a fraud. I mean, like, I'm glad to see the nigga in, and he was a menace. The media convinced me it was bad casting. I looked at his jawline. I was not aware of his true power. I didn't read the actual comics. The betrayer convinced me he was weak. I was jealous of the Viltrum Empire. You could put in his hairline was messed up. I mean, like that little thing he got over there.
You sign this document and turn it in by the end of the trial. Now, everyone should have known Thragg was all about that action the moment the coalition pulled up to Viltrum. Cause they pulled up searching for this man just for him to meet them at the front door. Bro said, you ain't even gotta search for me, gang. I'm right here and I'm ready to throw down. So Thula comes from behind and sneaks Status in the back. And all the other Viltrumites end up surrounding them. Cause Thragg set up an ambush because he knew they were gonna try to track him down and kill him on Viltrum. So he sicks his minions to start jumping the coalition, while he just straight up sat back and watched them fight.
He's just sitting back and enjoying.
Didn't even bother to move from the spot he was in till Space Racer shot his Infinity Ray at him. And all he did was move back a couple of inches. This man didn't give a flying f about a laser that would one-shot him. He just straight up had the confidence to know that that shit wasn't hitting him. So the first person to actually try to fight him was Omni-Man. So Nolan flew in and tried to hit him, but all Thragg did was move back a couple of inches again and make Nolan hit straight air. Then Thragg flew above him and winded up a punch from the heavens. And if you take a look at Nolan's face right here, you can tell that he is clearly thinking,
damn,
he about to rock my shit. And he did. Bro, that nigga was so strong that he knocked this nigga Nolan to the planet. It ain't like one punch and that was it. You ever see these Viltrumites? You ain't never seen them punching that hard, but that nigga was pulling that shit with one punch.
Thragg punched this nigga Nolan so hard he turned into a living, breathing meteor and made him crash all the way down on the surface of Viltrum. So after Thragg hit Nolan with a stage change, Thragg came down and tried to hit Nolan with some good old talk no jutsu. He was telling him, Nolan, big dog, come home. Why are you fighting for these sorry-ass, weak-ass niggas? Thetis' sorry-ass killed our emperor and brought us to damn near extinction, and you wanna align with that Autobots rollout sounding ass nigga?
I ain't gonna lie, he low-key kinda spin though. Why you trying to team with the nigga that literally just killed your parents? I mean, your mom was shit. I mean, your dad seemed like a cool guy, but your mom was really shit, so I guess he wanted to join him because he killed his piece of shit mom, but shit, I would not join someone who just tried to kill my people.
But Nolan tried to tell Thragg that he was a changed man now, and he was done sipping from that Viltrum Kool-Aid to be a brainwashed space tyrant. So after Nolan tried to get Thragg to stop and surrender, Thragg looked at Nolan dead in the face and said, oh, Nolan, how far you fallen? Looks like that Earth Coochie really made you a soft ass nigga.
Damn.
So Thragg winds up
I mean, he ain't wrong.
so strong it created a vortex. And he hits Nolan with a Shoryuken from hell that sent Nolan flying all the way back up into the stratosphere. So after from hell that sent Nolan flying all the way back up.
Nah, that wasn't a coincidence. He knew where that nigga was and he just started to uppercut him. He's like, oh, I see that black man. Uppercut that nigga into him.
The stratosphere. So after Nolan got sent back to outer space, the next person that tried to step up was everyone's favorite useless purple punching bag, Oliver. Now, before we observe what happens to this half-insect buffoon, I want y'all to hear exactly what Oliver says 20 minutes before this fight starts. Roll the clip.
Why is everyone so nervous about fighting this Thragg guy? No way he lives up to the hype.
Bro, that's where Oliver, like, damn, bro, like, no amount of shit's gonna make him, like, slow down, you slow your roll, bro. Clearly, this nigga Mark been through that shit and he's like, Oliver, bro, you need to stop, bro. You need to stop, seriously, my nigga. You almost died, twin.
Well, as we can see, Oliver is basically representing everybody that put Thragg on Fraud Watch. He himself was not believing in all the
He's
hype.
all y'all
Even
niggas.
after his dad straight up told him, however strong you think you are, Thragg is stronger. But Oliver, being a hard-headed ass nigga and not listening to any of the warnings about Thragg, ended up being on the receiving end of one of the most brutal scenes in the series. Oliver flew in to punch Thragg, but Thragg stops him with one hand. Then he crushes Oliver's hand and grabs him by the arm.
He's like, no, get your ass here. He's like, no, you ain't escaping. That one hit, that one break to the arm. He's like, oh, no, I can't handle this nigga. He's like, no. You thought this shit was over, nigga? This ain't over.
And you can see it in Oliver's face when he finally realized that he fucked up. And he should have listened to his pops the whole time. But it was all too late for him. Thragg backhands Oliver so hard, his jaw falls off and his left arm got snatched. Oh, man. Attempted murder and tackle on the child abuse. This nigga Oliver is the most useless person on this squad. He was a waste of space. And I already know some of y'all gonna be like, but CJ, what about Tech Jacket? You see, at least
She
Tech
caught
Jacket
bodies.
knows her role.
Yeah.
Sit in the back line, shoot your Viltrumite debuff darts at him, and get your assist. She's being a good support character.
And she a team player for real. Like, I ain't gonna hold it. Like, Oliver just wants to scrap for himself. He want the one-on-one. He want the ISO. He want all of that. Like, I don't understand it, bro. At least team with your dad and Mark, bro. At least y'all was somewhat had a chance. Like, somewhat. Not completely chance, but somewhat.
Oliver, on the other hand, is that one brain-dead DPS on your team that goes into a fight alone, dies, and asks where the team was at as he's feeding the other team. This nigga is just straight up garbage. This little nigga was talking crazy as hell, all for him to get his jaw broken off and not being able to talk again for the foreseeable future. Fucking trash can, bro.
Maybe not make him shut up.
Got humbled by Thragg. Mark tried to rush in on Thragg with a rage boost, all for Thragg to flash him with one of the craziest impact frames
that
of all
was the
time,
craziest
then
impact
stopping
frame.
his punch with his hairline. Then after he
I
showed
was
Mark his
saying.
fresh lineup that he got right before this battle, he gives him a left and a mean-ass gut check, then grabs him by the neck and tip slaps him out of Viltrum's order.
Bro, this nigga's so... Anything he does, he just demolishes you, cuz. Like, slap, a simple slap really sent this man Mark flying.
Look at the impact frame of this man getting the shit slapped out of him. He slapped the taste out this nigga's mouth and made his whole head do a 180 before his whole body got put in reverse. Not gonna lie, gang, just for this, I'm giving him an extra attempted murder because this pimp slap was uncalled for, bro. So damn disrespectful.
Slap was attempted murder.
After he pimp slapped Mark, he flew up to my glorious King Battle Beast, rocked him in his jaw, then grabbed his jetpack, then threw him to a whole other solar system because we don't see him again for the rest of the fight. Just for doing that to my goat, that's attempted murder. Because throwing Battle Beast like a toy
Literally,
into
anything he does, attempted murder. Touch you slightly, finger poke of death, literally. That's attempted murder. I could just looking at you as attempted death. Because he already got murder on his mind.
deep space is actually insane. So since everyone was getting dog walked by Thragg, they decided the best thing to do was to just destroy the whole planet.
Destroy the planet.
So Space Racer shot his infinity ray at the planet, and Mark, Nolan, and Thetis fly into the planet's core and blow it up.
That's insane.
So after these three blew up the planet, this sent Thragg over the edge. This man looked directly at Thetis, locked onto his target like he was a heat-seeking missile, and ripped Thetis' head clean off of his shoulders. Ladies and gentlemen, that was just straight up murder. They just didn't even get a chance to react.
Bro.
All he saw in his last moments,
he didn't even try like being a dick for it. He was just straight up mad. He just ripped his man's head off. He just straight up was just pissed off. He couldn't control himself.
Thragg's crispy ass hairline, blitzing him at Mach speed. Then he displayed his head to everyone, then crushed it into mush while telling everyone they're next. So after he sent Optimus Prime back to the Bayverse, he grabs Nolan with no hesitation and just starts to lay the smackdown on this nigga. While Nolan couldn't do anything, he couldn't fight back at all. Thragg then low-key started hitting Nolan with the Superman Injustice 2 super move, just yo-yoing his body with punches.
The fact this man Nolan's still alive after this.
Punch in the throat and he can't breathe anymore. So Nolan tried to attack, but he gets his wrist shattered. Then when Mark saw Thragg flying towards him, his fight or flight senses.
He ran.
Mark hit the jets and just tried to skedaddle, but Thragg was chasing him and he was on his ass. Look at the expression on Mark's face right here. This is the face of a man who is terrified and is running from death itself. So Thragg grabs Mark.
Like, this is the one time where Mark actually fucking ran. He understands the severity of the situation. He's like, no, I'm going. I'm not Oliver.
And starts giving him ferocious back shots.
Hey, yo,
then after
CJ?
he finished giving Mark back shots, he had him hoisted up, and he was about to end this man's existence right here. But Nolan comes in and saves Mark at the last second. So after Mark got saved, Mark asked, Dad, how do we beat him?
We can't.
Nolan looked back at his son and said, Son, we're cooked.
That was insane.
Lord have mercy, Thragg gave Nolan the Viltrumite special technique. That is just flat out attempted murder. Then Thragg grabbed Mark by the neck again and gave him a headbutt that was probably heard around the cosmos. Then he started to squeeze his head, and he was going to crush Mark's head just like he did to Thetis. But at the last second, Thragg decides to stop because he realized that too much Viltrumite blood has been spilled. So he lets Mark off the hook and leaves him for dead in space with his father and his brother. This man Thragg shut those fraud allegations up real quick, cause he just straight up wiped the floor with everyone. Omni-Man got left with his guts hanging out, Mark got put into another coma, and Oliver had to get put in a Bacta tank with a new shiny mechanical jaw and a prosthetic arm to go with it.
Oh, damn, bro. Like, that's insane. And hopefully the next season, like, Oliver will realize, bro, I gotta sit my ass down. Like, I gotta know when to hold him and when to fold him. Child abuse.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have reached our third and final exhibit. Exhibit C, PTSD and holding Earth hostage. Now, after Thragg put belt to ass to the coalition and left the
he didn't need to do anything but just existing.
Mark thought they were going to go to Earth and destroy everything. So when Mark finally recovered from the beating that Thragg gave him, it is revealed that Mark got his ass beat so bad he got PTSD. But not just
this was the moment where, like, it's crazy because Mark has experienced it all through shit, almost killed by your own father, shit, almost dying on multiple occasions. This is the one instance where it's like, oh no, like shit, like they are really gonna come to Earth because their home is gone. So rival day went quick, and this man really, this nigga Thragg pulled a Slade. He really put a Slade on Mark's mind. He was literally just traumatized this man. Mark was just thinking of him constantly, and he was like, oh shit, my mama, everyone I know is gonna die.
It's your regular PTSD. This nigga Mark got specifically post-thragmatic stress disorder.
Oh,
not
that's
gonna lie,
perfect.
I think we haven't seen a case of PTSD this severe since Slade did this shit
Oh,
to Robin.
God.
Mark was tweaking out so hard, he was seeing things just like Robin was. So let's go through some of the examples real quick of how severe this actually was. Example 1. Mark finally comes back home to see his mother for the first time after the war. So this was supposed to be a heartwarming moment, but it goes south real quick. While Mark was talking to his mom, he looked away for like 1 second. And when he turned around again, he sees Debbie getting choked out by Thragg. And Thragg tells him, this is the smallest repayment for what you did. And rips Debbie's head clean off. I'm not gonna lie, this shit got me for a quick second. Cause this happened so fast it felt like a jump scare. Bro really thought for a second that he saw his mother get her head ripped off before he finally snapped back into reality. But this was only his first post-thragmatic stress disorder episode, because there were more to come. Example 2, Mark and Eve were having a very important conversation about how life's been for her since Mark left. And she was about to give him the whole lore dump of what all happened when he left. So right before she was about to tell Mark that she was pregnant, she gets her head snatched by Thragg. And Thragg starts to hold her up above Mark and tells him, you took away what I loved. Now I'm taking what you love, little nigga.
Damn.
So he starts to gouge her eyes out and crush her face.
Bro.
Then her other eyeball.
I don't even need to see this, and I already know how gruesome it is because Invincible, the show, is really just so gruesome. It's like, bro.
Ends up popping out of her head before he finally kills her in front of Mark. Then throws her lifeless body right back at him. This nigga Mark was going through hell. He was living a nightmare because he couldn't tell if this was real or not.
Nah. That's 3 people he killed so far, PTSD, because technically she was pregnant, so she killed 2 people. The mom and the baby.
Eve had to snap this man out of the genjutsu that he was stuck in because he was actually stun locked. Now, let's observe example 3. Mark is giving the debrief to Cecil about the war and was low-key about to ask him for a therapist. Now, while their conversation continued, Mark closed his eyes, and the moment he looked back up, he sees Thragg giving Cecil the Viltrumite special. I
mean, shit, you doing us a service with that, low-key. Mark, why are you tripping over this? This man Cecil was literally reviving niggas for no reason, for like, this is the payment he deserves.
And while he had his body lifted up, he told Mark, just to let you know, I'm still in your head. And not even therapy can repair the shit I did to you. Then he throws Cecil's lifeless body to the side like trash. And after this, Mark just started hyperventilating because he was having a panic attack mid-PTSD till Cecil finally calmed this nigga down and brought him back to reality. So after Mark went through like 3 post-thragmatic stress disorder episodes, Mark decided to go on a flight to clear his head. And while he was out flying, he sees Thragg again. So Mark, thinking he's having another episode, closes his eyes and starts to think in his head, this is not real, this nigga's not here. This is not real, this nigga's not here. This is not real.
So it's like one of those moments where you're like, shit, like your mom there, and you're like, oh wait, she's not there, she's not down tweaking, and then she's actually there.
This nigga's not here. So when Mark opens up his eyes again, Thragg was still there.
He was
and
real.
He told him, yes, little nigga, we indeed are here. And this was when Mark finally realized that the Thragg standing in front of him
is real.
was indeed the real Thragg. So Mark starts tweaking out and begins to hit Thragg over and over again. But Thragg just took all of this with no reaction, then palmed Mark's face and threw him back to where he started. Then Thragg told him, stop, little nigga. I didn't come here to fight. I came here to talk. So Thragg gives this man a little smile, then tells Mark, here's how this is about to go down, little nigga. You took our home, so now we're taking yours. So from this day forward, we, yes, we will be using Earth as a breeding ground to repopulate our forces and rebuild our empire. And don't worry, they've already started. Krieg done cracked like 6 of your Earth holes already. That one-out motherfuckers.
Bro, that man was like, Nolan, why was you feeling over these humans? Cause I never understand it. But then he got thinking one, he's like, oh shit, I understand it now. I understand everything. I understand the whole universe.
Time of his life right now. And Lucan is already famous. He's been hosting this show called Family Feud under an alias name, Steve Harvey or some shit. But that's besides the point. What you need to know is this, little nigga. You're going to let us coexist with you. And if you don't, we will rip this planet in half. Also, I will need to acquire the location of your planet's best barbers. Their services will be needed. So Mark has to agree because he basically has no choice. And Thragg officially takes the entire planet of Earth as hostage and turns it into a Viltrumite breeding farm.
Yep.
The verdict.
Ladies
and gentlemen,
nuts.
after observing all of this evidence and tallying up this long list of charges, this is a pass with flying colors. This man Thragg belongs in the elite category for menaces. He pulled off this list of charges in 3 episodes, gang. That is like a new record for Charles or some shit. And this is just the tip of the iceberg because the files on this man are going to continue over the years. So with that being said, hope y'all enjoyed. And until our next trial that is coming up very soon,
bro, I can't wait. Like, I can't wait for the paint trial, man. This nigga Thragg was really that nigga, bro. Like, anything that you think a nigga could be and thinking he's not the shit, man, that's what Thragg is, bro. Like, all y'all niggas who be saying, oh, he's a fraud. Like, I don't understand why y'all think he's a fraud. Like, I really think he's a fraud. Like, did you watch the comic? I mean, did you read the comics, or you just assumed because he wasn't really doing much so far until now? Now that's when he comes in, because he didn't really need to. He didn't need to use his hands. He just had like other people doing for him. But now he has no other options but to just use his hands now. So you let that beast. Wow. Anyways, man, WB CJ.